Hello. The Courageous Conversations ministry team at Atonement Lutheran Church in Boulder has put together this brief pandemic scenario in hopes that the tools that are illustrated might be helpful in your daily lives as you live in and through your Christian call. We hope that it helps you bring forward your best self that models Jesus's openness, love, and forbearance. And this conversation is around help and barriers. Why do certain people struggle in asking for help? What are the barriers for some people, especially in this time of COVID-19? I'm Pastor Chad, one of the pastors at Atonement Lutheran Church, and I'm here with Christine Ruth, a pastor and therapist in the Boulder area, Ellen Johnson, member at Atonement and a retired pastor, and Marty McMain, also a member of Atonement and retired pastor. I think we're going to start with some thoughts from Alan.
Thank you, Pastor Chad. As you're talking about the kind of environment in which we're living right now, there are people that really have many of the needs and need some help. But we're trying to figure out what are some of the reasons why people maybe not ask for help. What are some of the barriers that kind of prevents a person who might be experiencing some things that we don't know about from not letting other people know and let them know what they need? And I think it's clear for some of us. It's when we feel that we want to reach out for help, it makes us feel weak or vulnerable or embarrassed sometimes or uncomfortable or even feeling shame that I should be self-reliant. I should be able to pull up myself by my own bootstraps, all those things. So the question is, how do we address some of those concerns that people are living with so that they can actually then reach out and say, can you help me? And I think that there's a pastoral way or a way the faith community can at least offer space where people can bring themselves going through some of these barriers to say, but I do need some help. And I think that a faith community can respond to those questions when they're brought.
I've seen in my practice, Pastor Allen, Pastor Chad, Pastor Marty, a lot of people calling for the very first time, people who maybe have never had history of anxiety issues or depression or the feelings of just general restlessness that are assailing some people during these days of COVID. Some are calling my office and saying, I don't know if I'm having a heart attack, if I'm having an anxiety attack, what's happening to me, but I'm, having a lot of belly issues, issues in my chest. And I just think it's important to acknowledge that for many of us, the challenges, the ambiguities, and helplessness that COVID is inspiring or provoking for some people is perhaps for you the first time you've experienced these things. And it's just so important. I know it's really hard sometimes to ask for help, to reach out when we're feeling vulnerable about strange and weird feelings and sensations, but I want to encourage you to do so, because oftentimes we just need to be normalized in our responses and realize, oh, everyone's going through this. I wish I could get everyone that's called me in the last 2 months together for a support group, because I think many of us would be shocked by how not alone we are in our feelings and responses. And it can be really reassuring to know that there are other people out there having the exact same strange emotions and sensations as we go through this together.
Absolutely. It's a strange time, and we're all experiencing feelings that are unusual because the time's unusual. And sometimes I think we don't really know what help we need. That might be another barrier to our asking for help, but what kind of help do I need? Do I need to call a doctor? Do I need a therapist? Do I need my pastor? I don't know. And so we really just want to encourage you as the body of Christ to know that there is always help. Here's another barrier I just thought of. Well, we're faithful people. We should just rely on our faith. That should just get us through. That'll be enough. Well, we all have doubts and questions, and we need one another, the body of Christ. So we would encourage you. Here are some resources. Your pastors are resources. Pastor Christine, a professional therapist as well, or any other therapist. If you have a trusted doctor, you could call your doctor and get some reassurance. You could certainly attend one of our Zoom meetings that we have from the church and from the Interfaith Network on Mental Illness. These aren't mental illnesses, these are natural feelings in this time, but we are sponsoring a Thursday night conversation for connection. And there's another place, a group where we could say how we're feeling. You could contact Ellen or myself, anyone on the mental health team at Atonement. Or how about talking with a trusted friend? We are Christ's body. We are here for one another. And when we talk with one another, then we can help one another discern if any other appropriate next steps might be needed.
Well, thank you all for your responses. It's such a great reminder that we are the body of Christ, that we are together. And in our faith, in the gift from God, we can hold on to the promise that we are not alone, and there are resources and people to walk with us in this time. Thank you to the three of you for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.